Today we are going to explain an action, mystery thriller movie called Firestorm. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The film opens with a criminal named Tao having a flashback of him having a judo match with his classmate Lu. Growing up, Tao became a criminal and Lu, a cop. Tao was recently released from prison. His girlfriend Bing comes to pick him up. She takes Tao home and shaves his head. Tao immediately gets back to his gang and plots to rob one of the 4 armed trucks that carry the bank's cash. On the other hand, Louis and his team are assigned to keep a lookout and make sure the trucks reach the bank safe and sound. Tao's goons put on masks to cover their faces and hijack a giant crane. They operate the crane's claw and lift the giant armed truck in the air. Lou and his team immediately head toward the crime scene. Unfortunately, the traffic is wild, so they get stuck. Meanwhile, the goons manage to take out the guards from the trucks and take them hostage. Soon, Lou and his team arrive at the location and tell the goons to surrender. The goons start shooting at Lou's team and create great chaos. In the end, one of the goons grabs a random girl from the street and threatens the cops to surrender. Lou tells one of the officers to take action while he distracts the goons. Louis almost succeeds in distracting the robbers, but Tao crashes his car into Lou's car. The gang leader, Kao Nam, shoots the hostage girl for witnessing the crime and flees with his gang. Though, the cops manage to arrest Tao for crashing into Lou's car. A moment later, the Hong Kong Police Department is seen trying to locate the robbers by using surveillance footage. Lou shows up with a picture of the gang's leader. Kao numbers Lou believes that he is behind this robbery since he has committed 5 robberies like this in the past, but has no proof against him. The cops fail to get footage of the robbers escaping. Lou tells the cops to rewind the footage and trace the robbers before the incident. As Lou is discussing the possibilities of the robbers' escape route, Kao Nam shows up at the station and returns Lou his ID card, saying he found the car on the street. He sees his pictures pasted all over the office boards and smirks. Since the cops have no proof against him, they don't take any action and let Kao walk away. Subsequently, the cops share Tao's details with Lou, saying he was released from prison a week ago and is charged with multiple car robberies. Lou takes the investigation to his office. In a friendly manner, Lou tries to get the words out of Tao, but Tao claims that crashing into Lou's car was an honest mistake. Louis insists that Tao tell who he's working for and that he will be given protection by all means possible, but Tao keeps denying the accusations. Soon, Tao's girlfriend shows up with a lawyer and bails him out. Lou tells his officers to let Tao go but keep track of him. Tao goes home with his girl, who insists on finding a good job. She talks to a local restaurant owner and requests him to hire Tao. In the next scene, the police reach a crime scene and witness a burnt car and one of Kao's men named Daffy dead at the crime scene. He has been shot in the head twice, proving his death to be a murder. The officers claim that Daffy was the only face that was caught on camera after the robbery incident, so Kao must have shot Daffy because he knew cops were coming for him. Back at the precinct, the cops find out about 2 right hands of Kao, Paco, and Jackal. Paco was released a few months ago, whereas Jackal is yet to be released from Stanley Prison. This rings a bell in Lou's head. One of his fellow informants named Tong was charged with bribery and was put in the same prison, leaving Lou the legal guardian of his autistic daughter. Lou meets up with Tong and asks for his cellmates Jackal and Paco. Tong recognizes Jackal and tells Lou that he offered to join his gang after getting out of prison. Lou requests him to join the gang so they can get a lead on Kao. Subsequently, Lou's cops locate one of Kao's men named Lone, whom they were tailing for the past 4 days. They have located him and his family in a village and decide to catch him. They trace Lane's exact location and find out he's in a building flat. The cops show fully armed outside the building and make a strategic plan to infiltrate. Meanwhile, Kao, Tao, and Lone are seen planning to rob gold bars and have them sent to their hidden warehouse. The cops take the rooftop entrance and barge inside the building. As they walk towards Lone's location, a cop sees a hidden camera. They try to block the camera with the help of a device. They are able to block the camera for 30 seconds only. As they plan on breaking open the front door, Kao's thugs find out about the cops' raid. They throw grenade bombs toward the cops. The cops didn't see this coming. They become defenseless again. Kao and his men tie napkins around their faces and start shooting at the cops. As they pave their way, Tao burns all the maps and evidence before the cops can get their hands on them. The thugs keep shooting at the cops while Kao escapes from the rooftop. Lou manages to get his hands on Lone and cuffs him to a pipeline. When he comes out, he sees Tao with his face covered. The two get into one-on-one combat on the staircase. Lou tries to unmask Tao multiple times but fails. As they take their fight on the rooftop, Tao's planted bombs start exploding. Lou and Tao fall from the rooftop and fight midair. Tao swings and lands inside an apartment by breaking the window, whereas Lou falls on flower boxes. In the next scene, Lou gets a warrant to barge into Keo's workplace and have him under their investigation. Keo speaks for himself and doesn't let the cops touch him. Soon an officer comes to Lou and says something in his ear which changes his mind. Lou apologizes and leaves Keo alone. In the precinct, they find out the building was a fake setup just to distract Louis and his people. Lone also commits suicide before the cops could get his verdict. A cop runs inside the precinct to aware Lou that Tao has an alibi to help him manage his job at a restaurant and do all the dirty work with Kao. Lou shows up at Tao's workplace alone and finds him talking to his girl. Lou tries to make Tao feel guilty for not telling his girl that he's a thief, but Tao is a stiff one who still denies being a criminal. The next morning, Lou's friend Tong calls him to inform him that Keo's men have called him and asked him to replace Lone. Lou doesn't meet his friend directly. He passes through Tong's taxi in his car and hands him a dead phone from his car window, saying that it will provide the cops with his GPS location at all times. In the next scene, Tao is called by a man in a club. He asks to work together for bigger profits and can later blame everything on Kao. Tao knows that Keo owns this club and has cameras all over the place. Not just that, but the guy is also sleeping with one of the girls from Keo's gang. Tao becomes mad and starts hitting that man for calling him to the club and having him involved. Tao fears Keo and doesn't want to oppose him. On the other hand, Tong finally meets up with Jackal and joins his gang. They ask him to give away his phone. He quickly calls Lou and pretends to be calling his aunt to pick up his daughter from school. The cops immediately trace Tong's location and go after him in teams. Two men get out of the car with guns and head toward their next robbery. Lou tells his officers to keep an eye on Keo and let him know if he has joined his gang. Tao also shows up in his car, but he fails to play his part because his girlfriend shows up coincidentally and sees him dealing with guns. She yells at Tao and demands to get inside his car, but Tao gets confused and drives his car in reverse. His car hit a truck loaded with pigeons. The pigeons fly out of the truck, leading the robbers to open fire. They also get news about a spy, so they stop their mission. Lou follows Tong and the thugs to find out their next stop, but Tong warns Louis to run away. On the other hand, the thugs use their devices on Tong's phone and find out it's emitting strong signals. Jackal and Tong finally meet up with other gang members and prepare to leave. One of the thugs hands Tong's phone to someone in a separate car whose face cannot be detected. The police are informed that Tong and the thugs are headed to the International Finance Center. Since the thugs know of them being traced, they keep changing routes to confuse the cops. Soon, Lou is informed that they have lost Tong's signals. At the same time, he sees Tao throwing a package into the river. He loses his mind and tells his team to use every present surveillance camera to see where Tong is being taken. In the following scene, the thugs try to kill Tong, but he breaks the van's window and escapes. He runs home and gets seen by the cops from a camera. He immediately goes home and finds his daughter. He yells at her for not screaming, but screaming is all she does. He hits her but then loves her and begs her to stop screaming. He then packs her in a suitcase and hides the suitcase under a bed. By the time Lou and his fellow cops show up at his apartment, the thugs kill Tong and throw his daughter off the balcony. Lou and the other cop try to chase the thugs but find Tong's daughter, who is badly injured. Lou takes the daughter to the hospital, but she takes her final breaths in Lou's lap and dies. This leaves Liu and his cop buddy in great pain. They stop at a bridge to get some air. They get informed over the phone that Keo is all set to leave Hong Kong and is currently headed toward the airport. The cop drives Lou closer to Keo's car. He bumps into his car and tries to stop him. Keo acts innocent, but Lou approaches him and tries to hurt him. Keo tries to run over Lou with his car, but the cop bangs his car into Keo's and saves Lou. Lou fights the urge to shoot Keo and calls for paramedic help. Later at night, Tao goes to apologize to his girlfriend Bing. Bing is disappointed to find out Tao hasn't changed and is still a criminal. Bing reveals that she is pregnant with someone else. She was on her way to abort the baby, but she caught Tao involved in criminal activity, and now she wants to keep the baby just so she can get Tao to hate his life. Tao becomes mad and starts arguing with her. He ends up proposing her, but Bing gets angry and leaves him. Next, Lou receives a CD from someone which has the footage of Lou hurting Keo after Tong's daughter's death. Lou calls the person who has the tape. The guy turns out to be the person who called Tao into a club to join forces with him. Lou arranges a secret meetup with him. The guy reveals that Keo has hidden cameras in all his cars, and he mistakenly screwed Keo's girl in one of Keo's cars. He sneaked into the car and stole the camera to delete his footage, but instead found Lou's footage. The guy has made multiple copies of him and demands Lou pay him $500,000 every month. As Lou sits in confusion, he watches the guy get an asthma attack. Lou sees his pump and makes sure the guy never reaches his pump. Soon, the guy passes away. Later, Tao shows up at the police department and confesses that Kao has nothing to do with the robberies. He rats out his right hand Paco and accuses him of all the robberies. He is ratting Paco out just to get his girlfriend back. He tells Lou about Paco's next move, so the cops and the SWAT team prepare to attack Paco and the rest of the gang. Bing goes to the hospital to get herself checked. Louie and the cops open an attack on Paco, but nearly lose their lives because Paco has set up explosives everywhere. Lou shoots till his last breath and takes down the entire gang except for Paco, Tao, and another guy. The trio runs inside a bus when the SWAT team surrounds them. Paco plans on exploding the gas pipeline to end the cops, but Tao and the other guy try to stop him. The other guy doesn't want to die, so he shoots Paco and comes out of the bus to surrender. Lou shoots the guy but spares Tao. Soon, a bomb explodes near the gas pipeline, which causes the entire highway to sink underground. While Bing watches live footage on the news, Tao is run over by a giant truck and dies. In the end, Bing receives a letter from Lou, claiming that Tao was an undercover cop who was only pretending to be working with Kao. Subscribe to see more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.